Yeah, monetary.
What's poppin', subbies? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you guys my intersecting braid pattern that I use for my middle part sew-ins. And 2 years ago I uploaded my first how-to video on how to do a middle part sew-in, and I did use a different method that I am using in this video. So if you would like to see an alternative way to just get a braid pattern for a middle part sew-in, that's a great video. I will leave a link for that in the description box. So to start this braid pattern off, I'm taking the first braid down along the side of my edges and then around my ear. And this is kind of like a base braid for my sew-in. And the reason why I do this is because if you just make the braids go straight back, over time when your weave gets old, the tracks will start to recede. So they'll be like super far back from your edges. And I had to learn that the hard way one time and literally take my weave down and redo the whole thing. So I always make sure that I just call it a base braid around the edge of my head. The base braid along the side of your edges, also make sure that you can lay the tracks really close together. If you do the braids straight back, then you can only lay them a certain way, and you don't want to have gaps in between your tracks, like huge gaps. The rest of the braids in this pattern are just going to go straight back, and I try to do them as small as possible and as neat as possible. A lot of people ask how I get my sew-in so flat, and I just really make sure that I take my time with the foundation. This is one of the most important parts to a super flat sew-in. So as you can see right here, I just took the tail end of the first braid that I did, and I'm adding it to the middle section of the braid that I am currently braiding down right now, if that makes sense. And that's how you intersect, which is why it's called an intersecting braid pattern. And then you just keep braiding that braid all the way down. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. And so here's a close-up view of what it would look like. So I took the tail end of that braid and intersected it into the new braid. And I'm going to repeat this process all the way until I get to the other side of my head.
Yeah, monetary.
Riding around in my whip, listening to my shit. She wanna hit track six. She told me that's her. Baby girl said I got the title. Got a nigga feeling like Michael Jackson. Jordan, better than me, they both.
If I didn't rob it on girl, would you still? If I minimize my net worth, would you still? Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than two. Keep it a whole 100, don't got you, I got none. I'm on the way, we ain't got no time to waste. Popping your gum on the way, am I in the way? No more pressure, you none. I want your best in the day. Oh, by the way, open the door, by the way. Told you that I'm on the way, I'm on the way. I know connection is big, pick up the phone for me, babe.
If you have my love and I
Yeah.
would you come?
I'm done with these bitches. I don't love these bitches. I dust off these bitches. I do it for fun. Don't take it personally. I'm surprised you called me after things that I said.
Skirt on bitches. I don't know these bitches. Take that on these bitches. I do it for fun. Don't take it personal. Love on my ladies. Love to my ladies.
If you are someone who braids bigger, or if you are just trying to save on time, so you braid bigger, it is really important to keep any braids that are surrounding your leave out small. So for example, the braid that I'm doing now, or the base braids that you do along the side of your edges, it's really important to make those small. You don't want them bulky, because when you sew the track on top of them, you want your leave out to be able to lay flat over it and cover it nicely. And if you do the braids around your leave out big, you might have issues covering your tracks.
Yeah.
So once I get to the other side, I do the base braid along my edges before I even start on that side, so that That way when I get to the last braid, I can just braid the ends of them together, and that's going to be your piece left over that you're going to sew up. So you're going to intersect that last braid into it, and then once you get to the very bottom, you're going to add in the tail of that base braid, if that makes sense. So once you get to this side, you want to make sure that you do your base braid first. So this is what the finished braid pattern looks like. You can see the 2 base braids along the edge of my head, and then I'm also showing you guys the back view. And before you sew the tail up, you want to make sure that you use some type of moisturizing oil so you can protect the foundation underneath your sew-in, especially if you're going to leave it in for a long time. You want to make sure you moisturize your hair. And then you're going to go ahead and take that tail end of your very last braid and sew it up. I usually just find a spot in between braids to sew it in between, so that way it lays really, really flat.
I want your best in the day. Oh, by the way, open the door, by the way. Told you that I'm on the way, I'm on the way. I know connection is big. Pick up the phone for me, babe. If you have my love and yeah.
So I'm also going to be using a weaving net to protect my hair and to release some of the tension on my natural hair. And I know when I recorded my video 2 years ago, like, I literally like gave 0 fucks. Like, at that point in my life, I was kind of just like, I want to look cute. My hair was super damaged in certain areas, so I really didn't care about protecting anything. But now my hair is like just in a much better state, a lot more healthier than it was back then. And so I like to protect it a lot more. So I'm going to be using a weaving net in this one just because I plan on keeping this weave in for a little bit longer than I usually do. So all you do is place it on top of your head, and then you're just sewing around the crown of your head to make sure that the net stays in place. Super, super simple. And I purchased this weaving net at my local beauty supply, and so I'm not really sure how much it costs because I bought it along with a bunch of other things, but I will look into the price for you guys and leave it in the description box.
On your bed, and then you feel like a leg. I wanna swim with my face. I'm like, okay, I'll let her get what she wants. I'll buy her East Laurent, ain't in the whip. When I go past his horse, I got the truck in the front.
And so once you have sewn all the way around where all your leave out is going to be, then I tie a knot with the string, cut that off, and then I'm just going to cut off the remainder of the net. So I just go along very carefully and cut, and you want to just be careful not to cut too close because you don't want to cut too close to the string and then it unravels and you have to redo it. So I try to cut as close as I can without like getting too close to where the string is. And this is what it looks like with the net on it. Now, I am going to show you guys at the end a clip of what the weave looked like here. I am wearing Sealy hair, and this is a total of 3 bundles. And I just wanted to show you guys how flat my sew-in is laying. I look so popping, y'all. So this is a really awesome braid pattern if you want a flat sew in, and I will leave a link to the description of me doing my middle part sew in and actually sewing it in the description section. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next video. That shit is flat, y'all.